Hey there, Constantine here again. This is the start of the second playthrough part of the beginning video, or sorry, however you want to call it. Because I wound up splitting the entire video I recorded, which was a little over an hour long, into two sections here. Anyway, so when we left off earlier, I just ran into that guy, the one person I found on the map. And so now I'm going along. I'm just trying to, like I said earlier, get the objective out of the way. That way I can move on and see what else there is that the game has to offer. Now this event that popped up, I'm not entirely sure where the event was for. I don't know if that was something I was doing or something that the other guy was doing. Because here in a little bit, once I clear these guys out, you'll see I look to see where that guy is. And there's still like a timer going on, and he's fighting a bunch of people. So I don't know if it was I'm guessing it was an event for him, but I thought it was kind of interesting. It popped up for me. Yeah, you can see down in the left-hand side over there. Well, now it's over on the basically the little marker that keeps moving around. It's got a time limit on it.
This was one of Skywatch's old array stations, a link to the lunar colonies.
So, of course, I'm just kind of like, okay, let me go back and see what's going on here. And I got to a point where I really did not, and there's the enemy respawning again. But I got to a point where I really didn't want to go all the way over to where he was, so I said screw it, and wound up going back into what I was doing. Invisible Elite, anybody? So yeah, go out here, see what's going on, and if you notice, he's a little ways over there. I don't feel like going all the way over there. So, I decided to go about my business, and back to what I was doing, getting this objective, or mission, completed. Yeah, like I said, the enemies do respawn. And in some cases, they respawn a little quicker than others. Yeah, but, you know, I can take it, so no worries. By the way, I say by the way, to by the way much. Sorry, I had to get that out of my system. Because I realized in the previous video I said, by the way, almost every other sentence that when I brought something up. In here you will notice where I'm about to fight some wizard guy.
Dead end.
And I guess they're called the Hive. It's basically swarms of guys who just, after one wave, another wave will respawn, then another wave will respawn. And I have to fight this wizard guy, or they call him a wizard. And this is where, or in the earlier video I stated, you'll see me die a couple times because I wasn't paying attention and not, like, checking my gear as I picked it up and whatnot. Because that's how I wind up actually having to beat him, is swapping to gear I had picked up that I didn't even think about, which actually made it so that I could take more damage and cause more damage. You know, the stuff you should be doing in games like this, but like I said, I got a little overzealous and I think just awestruck by everything that was going on. And yes, those barnacle looking things are pulsating or breathing or whatever you want to call it on the wall. It's like red flash. I saw red flash, that means there's enemy. Where are they? And there
it's the Hive.
The Hive. Of course, those are kind of like, like their masters or something. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't read all the details on the enemy. But the wizard is coming up soon. Oh yeah, the encrypted stuff. There is a guy in the tower area that I had mentioned previously in the earlier video. He will decrypt stuff, so think of it like in games where they have legendary items that are locked until you get them, what's the word? Basically where they get analyzed. Same concept. Where is he? So once I kill these guys, I'll pop out there and you'll see the wizard dude. And he's the one who's flying around. Matter of fact, I don't know if I saw him on the ground ever.
The wizard's here!
Oh, that's right, it's probably in the next video. Kill. There it is. And yeah. This is painful because I'm killing the other guys without any problem, not even thinking about it. And this guy, I'm like, well, he's just got a shield. It shouldn't be that bad. Oh boy, was I mistaken. And it always helps to actually have something that can do damage to multiple enemies. You know, like, oh, I don't know, the shotgun, which I keep forgetting to switch to. And you can see down in the lower, there we go. Yeah, it's like, why wasn't I doing this before? That's okay, because it didn't really help against the wizard. Why am I taking damage? Oh, because I'm sitting inside this bubble of crap. Yeah, you'll notice in one of the, whenever I get close to killing him, he drops like this bubble shield looking thing, and what it does is it causes damage because it's like dark energy or something like that. But it has these like black fuming cloud mist shit coming off of it. By the way, I think his shield recharges, so if you don't keep laying into him, he will regenerate, at which point you have to go through this crap all over again. And I'll leave here in just a moment, I'm about to die.
The wizard's here!
Again. It happens. Just wish it wouldn't, in some games, happen as often as it does. And yes, in most cases, it's usually my fault for why I die. Because I do stupid shit like, here, let me run directly at you and shoot you, even though you've got a shield on. Kill me. Please kill me while I try to kill you. Now, I do hate that it keeps flying away half the time, so I can't let you don't get to it. And bam. I believe this is where I change my gear. Yep. This is also a good thing to view because it gives you an idea of what you can do in the game. I could have pulled this up at any time, but like I said, I was retarded, wasn't paying attention. This is where you get your upgrades, and they're the different types of upgrades. You can see there how they, I guess, stats and different types of kills with them help level them up. And there it is, the L1, R1 that I had mentioned in the previous video for my, special gun. And we move along, go ahead, upgrade. And just so you're curious, if you were curious, what I was doing was just checking out to see, does that mean that it's already upgraded and I'm moving on to the next one, or, but I realized clicking on stuff that, yeah, I need to actually click on the one that's already white to be upgraded, at which point I'm good to go. And then I'm going to back out, and in the next screen I'm going to start going into like the different weapons I have so I can do more damage, hopefully, and change out my gear so I can take more damage, hopefully. Prime example, fire damage, good thing to have, especially against these guys, so that way they take DOT, or damage over time. And there's one of those encrypted things, and you can read, it says the Cryptarch in the tower, he's the one who can decrypt it for you. Towards the end of the video we'll see, but I don't believe you actually have to pay to have them decrypted. You just pay for actual new gear and things like that. And there's, as you can see, the ships you have access to. Of course, I don't have any at the moment other than the one, but later on I can always buy more if I get cash or whatever the money system is they have in this. It actually states, I just forget until we get to towards the end of the video, because that's where they actually at the storefronts will have what it's called. Almost out of my drink again. Not good. Oh well. No worries. The other cool thing about this, you can see by the details what the gear looks like. Just in case you wind up getting like a preference, maybe the several items that you have are exactly the same in stats. So maybe there's a preference on the way one looks over the other. You can have an idea of that. And also looking at this, when I was going through this, I'm guessing it's just like most other MMO style games or whatnot, where or games that have the loot system where they do gray, white, although I don't think there's gray because I haven't seen any grays in this, but white, green, blue, purple. I'm not sure if they're, because I haven't seen them yet, and this is, again, just alpha. But I'm not entirely sure if they have all the other colors as well. I did see purple, which I think they called legendary, but we'll see it towards the end of the video. And it was for gear, or clothing, I should say. And time to back out and start getting into the fray again. Oh yeah, I forgot, I went through some of the menu options just to get an idea of what other things you could see while you were in here. I'm not entirely sure what the consumables are yet, but then again, this is just the beginning of the game. And then of course your other options that you could change up. I didn't realize I spent this much time staring at this stuff. Although it was super late at night. I think it was around 11 last night. I wound up passing out when, because I got tired. I was getting tired, and wound up stopping this once I got into the tower area doing some of that, and then wound up downloading the Battlefield Hardline. And passed out while that was downloading, so. But yeah, now I'm supercharged. I wish I had known that. if I'd swapped my gear the first time. Wouldn't have died so many times. But yeah, go in here, kick some ass. Mission will be complete, and then we'll move on into the tower area. And there he goes. Every time he dropped to the ground, it was almost like he got stunned. If you notice, it's also the only time I'm doing some real damage to him. Previously, I wasn't really doing a whole lot of damage to him. And there's that black stuff I was telling you about, the cloud of whatever it is, I guess, concentrated evil.
The hive having been
So I made the
cursed for
mistake of,
centuries.
here, let me go get, what
That
the
wizard
hell?
came from the moon. I thought we had them contained there. The darkness could be a lot closer than we think.
And, yeah, basically I just hang out here, make sure I got all my loot and stuff, and then the mission will end, and it'll tell me, to go to the tower and turn in, you know, stuff, talk to people. Glimmer, that's what they're called. That's the cache system. And there's, I almost got the throwing knife. I think I actually get the throwing knife by leveling up whenever I get into the tower area. And that's part of the reason why I never got to actually test it out. Give you some view of the different menus. There's a lot of stuff in this game. Like I said in the previous video, I'm shocked at how much stuff is actually in this game for being alpha. The stats do link up online to the Bungie.net/alpha. Or, yeah. Sorry, yeah, that's right. So here's the map screen when you're in the spaceship before you can move on to whatever destination you want to go to. So of course you need to figure out where you want to go. And I will admit, I kind of lied a little in the last video when I said that I had no complaints about this game. I do have a minor complaint, and you're about to see it here in just a moment. So when you choose the area you're going to, the loading. And by the way, those have no bearing, they just tell you what's new about that area. So now I'm going to go to the tower. We launch. Okay, I thought we were launching or something, but we're just sitting there. Okay, no big deal, it's a loading screen, I'm not going to complain. Okay. Okay, delay, maybe. Are we going back into Earth? This is what confused me. I thought we were going back into Earth, and I was like, wait a second, I picked the tower. Okay, this is a long cutscene for the same thing. Is the game doing anything? I mean, obviously it didn't freeze up because the clouds are moving and the land below me is moving. Yeah, this was probably my only really true big complaint. Is you have no idea what's going on at this point. Are you supposed to click on any buttons? Are you supposed to just sit there and wait? Is it loading? Is it not? And it's kind of lengthy. I mean, I was at this point freaking out until all of a sudden this happened. Then I was like, oh, okay. Oh, good, we're not on Earth. So there's the environment. This is the tower. This is supposedly the safe haven for the Guardians. This is the place in the previous video that I described kind of like Ironforge from World of Warcraft. And I'm sorry to bring it up again. Yeah, here's a good example. Everywhere you want to talk to somebody, you have to hold down the button versus just clicking. However, in some cases like these, you just click on it. And I'm just kind of going through at this point, showing you the city area. What are some of the things you can do here? For example, I'm also, by the way, the green icons, some of them are missions, some of them are turn-in items, or for this purpose, decoding. So yeah, didn't cost anything to decode. And I actually cut it short because there were a few other things I wound up doing, going back and forth through inventory and stuff like that. I did wind up, while I was here, buying a few extra items so that I can make myself a little more of a badass going out into the crap of the world.
Bounty claimed, winter skid, lightning scar.
And yeah, you can also see there are lots of players out here as well, compared to the open world that I was in where there was just the one person. Now granted, I understand there's not going to be a whole lot of people that, well, I don't know how many people per se are going to be here, but I'm sure there's not going to be anywhere close to what will obviously be in the real game when it comes out. But I'm not entirely sure what to expect at this point. Are they gradually building it up? I'm kind of guessing that they would gradually build it up as far as inviting people in, so that way they can get a better idea of how much load the servers are going to take, or can handle per person based on the amount of gear and things going on. Plus the fact that the worlds are seamless as far as where they're at in the world. So like the tower, there might be its own server for the instance that you happen to be in, but who knows how many servers per that tower instance there are, just to support how many people there are out there. This is like the Vanguard gear that I was telling you about that's legendary, labeled purple. Just to give you an idea of some of the items that were there. And I do apologize, I've been talking through most of this, but you can get an idea of some of the people that have different types of gear, where they're at. If you notice, several of these people are standing next to each other, but they're based off of what type of class they're for. So for example, this is the Titan. If I went to the Hunter one, I believe I have to be a certain level. I'll have to look back, but yeah. Some of these items were actually level specific, so some of them I can't even do until I'm like level 10. I think there was one or two that were level 8, but most of them I've seen have been around level 10, which that doesn't honestly surprise me because in most MMOs, they want you to get to level 10 before you can do anything. Hell, Battlefield, even Battlefield 4 was in one of those states where you had to be level 10 before you could use commander mode, so that, like I said, it doesn't really shock me being, having to be at least level 10 to do anything. But yeah, I mean, as you can see here, there is so much stuff in this game just for being alpha. It is quite nice and very refreshing in the game industry.
Watch where you point that thing.
And get out of this menu. Come on. Oh yeah, the ammo containers. there was really no point for some of this because right now I'm still low level. I would much rather just go through, kill, buy the minor things that I need to get myself to where by level 10 I can buy and afford and do what I need to. As you can see by this NPC though, that's one of the different head looks and stuff you can get or do whenever you're creating your character. So that is one cool thing. There are going to be it is going to be able to make it so that there are enough unique characters out there. Now, obviously there's going to be those random flukes when people are just going to randomly start looking like other people. But there are enough choices to make it so that, you know, within it may be one lookalike. Technically, if you did the math correctly, it would be probably close to 1 per every 10,000 people before you start seeing a duplicate, or even more. I mean, let's see, there's 3 character classes,
Hunter, welcome.
3 different types of characters. So, I mean, you know, human versus the Awoken versus Exo. So then, and of course, then there's Warlock, Titan, and Hunter. So those are 6 choices right there. I mean, sorry, 3 different items. And if you do the math, what is that? 27 different variations.
I'll be here, Guardian.
And considering each of those have sub sections to modification, I mean, yeah, there's a drastic amount of people that could have very different looks. So I do like the fact of the uniqueness. And here I'm on my way to my ship bay. And yes, I already have those, but... Or I'm sorry, I think that's a new... the jump ship is the same, but I think that's the new bike that I get. I don't think that's the same bike that I currently have. And if you're wondering why I kind of sat here for a moment, at this point I was sitting there like, do I get to choose one or do I get both? Well, if I have only the choice of one, let me figure out what I want more. And then realized, oh, I get them both. Okay. But you can see right there where you have the option to get more than more at a later date and time. I just obviously didn't have enough. Plus I have to be, what is that, level 8 on those, and then level 15 on the other ones? Okay, well, with some minor exceptions. But I obviously don't have enough glimmer or cash. Glimmer. Makes me think of bling. I don't have enough bling for this yet. I need to get better at that touchpad thing, because I saw people chatting like crazy and doing things, and I'm just like, okay, I can't figure out the touchpad. I gotta get that figured out before I really get too into this, because I didn't hear a lot of people talking at all, and I had the headset on.
Any news, Hunter?
Which, just a quick side note, I really like the PS4 for the fact that I can take my Turtle Beach X12 headset and plug it into the PS4 and it works, versus the Xbox One. The Xbox One is not built that way. It's got its own adapter that plugs into the controller that has its own special adapter on the end of that. So it's kind of annoying. But, you know, what can you do? Anyway, they can make money, right? Because now they're selling this for $20 or $30, this adapter that allows you to use your old headsets. I'm like, that's... Really? PlayStation does it out of the box. Whatever. Everybody's got their thing from time to time. So I do remember when Xbox first came out, there were things about it that made PlayStation look kind of like a joke. So, for example, when the original Xbox came out, it had a hard drive. The original PlayStation didn't. Or I'm sorry, the PS1 didn't either, but the PS2 didn't come with it. You actually had to buy that separate, and it really wasn't even available until Final Fantasy XI came out. Which I'm still surprised that game is still played today. Yeah, I didn't realize the following for that game. Excuse me. And the only reason I know that is because the guy at work was telling me he knows people that are still playing it. So here's the vault. I quickly cut out part of it because I didn't think you needed to see me moving items around and whatever, but here in a moment you'll see a quick shot of gear I put in there. Yep, and then we're back out. I'm hoping later on you can upgrade the amount of gear that you can put in your vault, because I can see instances where you may get a bunch of gear that you want to hold on to because you're not high enough level or something to that degree before you can use it. And you don't want to be in that situation where you have nowhere to put it and it's a badass item but you can't use it or do anything with it, especially when running out of bag slots or personal inventory slots.
Transaction complete.
Let's see, where are we at? So, I think at this point I was just running around, getting ready to find where my ship area was before taking off. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's right. I think I just came out here to see the environment some more and get a better look at the city, especially at night. And then this is when I decided to go ahead and log out for the night. And you can tell whenever I first got here it was daylight, but now it's nighttime. And I do try to quit out, which there is a bug here, and you will see it in a moment, but I did try to log out, and instead of it actually logging me out, it didn't do anything. It acted like it logged me out, but then didn't actually do anything. And you will see that right here. So go over, go to log out. It's like, okay, log out of Destiny. Are you sure? Come on. Yes, confirming. I confirmed it. X. Come on. Okay. I did confirm it. I know I hit X. Trust me, I hit X. It's like, okay, did it actually log me out? No? Alright, I guess I need to go dashboard. With that being said, that is the end of this video.